When kids don't get enough care, whether it's physical, mental, or emotional, like when a parent is sick or busy, they often feel anxious. This can make their bodies produce stress hormones. If this happens a lot, these hormones can harm their growing brains, affecting their emotions and thinking abilities for life. A real-life example is Daniel Rucareanu, who spent part of his early childhood in a Romanian orphanage. This happened in 1966, when Romania's leader, Nicolae Ceaușescu, wanted to boost the country's population. He made laws against abortion and contraception, causing a spike in births. Unfortunately, many poor families could not care for all their children, leading to around 500,000 kids, including Daniel, being sent to state-run institutions. These orphanages lacked toys, books, or anything to help kids learn. Many children just stared at the blank ceilings, waiting for their next meal, because they did not have much human interaction. Some babies developed ways to stimulate themselves, like rocking back and forth. This neglectful environment had lasting effects on their emotional and cognitive well-being. What is cognitive neglect? Cognitive neglect often results in lower IQ scores, delayed language development, and a lack of creative thinking. This occurs because our brains form connections with new experiences and stimuli without enriching experiences in the early years of life. When the brain develops rapidly, children miss the opportunity to establish the foundations needed for optimal future learning. Unfortunately, this impact can last a lifetime. In Daniel's case, he lived with more than 400 other children in conditions where shared bedrooms were rarely cleaned. The meals provided were usually small portions of boiled cabbage, and sometimes the staff would even take the food for themselves. Some supervisors resorted to violence to control the orphans, while others encouraged older kids to mistreat Daniel as a means of humiliation and asserting authority over him. What is physical neglect? Physical neglect and a lack of essential nutrients had a serious impact on most orphans, leading to stunted growth. Additionally, some children ended up with HIV and hepatitis B because medical supplies were reused. The physical abuse they experienced resulted in severe bruising and other injuries. The staff, who were both overworked and undertrained, rarely comforted the crying children. In Daniel's case, they hardly spent any time with him at all. Some kids were left entirely on their own with their concerns, while others kept their emotions hidden from those who were supposed to protect them, fearing further harm. What is emotional neglect? Neglect and anxiety can be really tough on a child's mental well-being. They cause the body to produce too much stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, which aren't good for the growing brain. These experiences can mess up how kids see love and relationships, making it harder for them to trust anyone. As adults, they might end up dealing with issues like depression, trouble sleeping, and social anxiety. In the past, during Ceaușescu's rule, the orphanage's conditions became public, and experts from all over came to study the kids there. MRI scans later revealed that some of the children had smaller brains. This research showed that not only is food important for a child's growth, but so is human connection. To help these kids, many were adopted by families in other countries. Even after adoption, many of them struggled to connect with their new parents. This supports the idea that a child really needs a strong and loving relationship with at least one main caregiver early in life, as per attachment theory. Luckily, Daniel had a good experience with his family. Despite facing trauma and anxiety, he managed to get a university education, start his own family, and even create a non-profit organization to help neglected children. So, if you had a happy and supportive upbringing, consider yourself extremely fortunate. If you went through neglect, try to understand that it wasn't your fault, and maybe not even your parents' fault. To explore what you can do if you have faced neglect. One approach is to talk about your feelings regarding neglect and how you believe it impacts you now. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
Watch more videos by clicking on the video here.